Bobby Dirkens here. Thanks so much for joining me for my preview of the 2019 Missouri Tigers. Now, before I go any farther, if you ain't acquainted with me, you're acquainted with me now. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. It notifies you when I put up a video, all this good stuff. Good Lord, you'll be entertained year round. When you think of the Missouri Tigers, you think of players here and there. But no offense to Missouri, it's not been that good over the past few years. I know, I get it. Drew Lock, talented. But Missouri has had their struggles. But I'm not going to get on here and just pick at you aimlessly. I'm not going to get on here and talk trash. Maybe a little bit. I'm not going to get on here and just dog you. Because we know there's the top SEC teams. Bama, Georgia, LSU, coming up Texas A&M. You got those people, right? They're running everything in the SEC. And then there's the rest of you. So let's talk about Missouri. Let's talk about your schedule. When you look at teams like Georgia, pretty tough schedule. You look at South Carolina, though I hate the ground they walk on, very tough schedule. You look at a team, especially in the West, it's a tougher schedule. You have some, quite honestly, one of the easier schedules in the SEC. You need it. That is not a bad thing. When a team is trying to build and trying to get better, and they're having to recruit against Georgia and Alabama, and then you throw in people like Clemson, and y'all are out there and getting out there near the Midwest, or Southwest, you're having to recruit against Oklahoma and Texas, and north of you up there in that general area, you got what? Michigan. I know it's on over, but you got Ohio State. You're not in a good place. Right? So, you need the easier games. That's a good thing. We'll get your schedule in just a second. Let's talk about who you lost. You did lose Drew Lock. He's gone. It is what it is. You get our quarterback. One man second string is another's first. No, Kelly Bryant, and I say that just to be joking. Kelly Bryant is a ridiculous athlete. He did incredible things at Clemson. He just had to, unfortunately, be at Clemson when one of the greatest quarterbacks, not to walk through Clemson's doors. No. Walk through a college of any sort. That's who he had to compete with. So I'm not going to sit here and knock Kelly. I still believe Kelly is an amazing athlete. I believe he'll make it to the NFL as an athlete, not a quarterback. With that said, with the majority of your schedule, and knowing who Kelly's had to play against in the past, I think this could be a really good season for y'all, and even run competitive in some games you may have no business being competitive in, because he's that good of an athlete. He's not a little guy either. For anybody who's never seen Kelly Bryant, and you think that he's just some midget, or he's like 6 foot tall, 5'10", run around real fast, he's 6'3", 230 pounds. Kelly Bryant is not a little guy. So he's not like Joe Hamilton at Georgia Tech when he's 5'8". Standing back there, and they were writing 5'10" down, but he was 5'8". Okay, and Joe Hamilton was a great running quarterback. Kelly Bryant can see. So Kelly's going to create some things for y'all. I think it's going to open up some things. What else does it open up for y'all? You have Larry Roundtree coming back for you. Roundtree, he rushed for over 1,000 yards. Concern is 3 of your 5 linemen are returning. That's a good thing. 3 of the 5. So that's more than half's coming back. That's good. That's good. It's better than only 1 or 2. But you do have to question who's going to protect him for how long? Because we saw what happened. Now listen once again, I'm not knocking Kelly. I'm just having to talk about football here. We saw what happened when Kelly had pressure on him at Clemson. And that's with all those, not knocking your talent, that's with 4- and 5-star talent everywhere on Clemson's size. He would take off running, and he did really good. And every now and again, he'd get a pass off to one of our, amazing receivers, wide receiver U. Or he got took down. He got contained. Balls were being thrown over people's heads, getting thrown into the ground, and that's with the talent that, no offense to you, and not to just sit here and talk about them, but this is where he come from. So if he comes from here, and he struggled at times in the big games, by the way, that's what I'm talking about. I know everybody's going to name out his starting role. I'm not, as I said, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, in the big games, we saw what could happen. All right? That's a concern. You do lose Emmanuel Hall, but you get the remainder of your receivers back. 7 out of the 11 starters, that's a good thing. 7-11 makes me think of a slushy. Now I'm thirsty, thank you very much. Defensive side of the ball, you return 6 out of the 11. Your top tackler, Garrett, he's back. You got Gillespie, Oliver, Sparks. You got Holmes. You got AC, kid had 3 interceptions. You did lose Hall and Lee. A few others, but overall, it's okay. But it's not great. Now, I referred to your schedule just a second ago, and I said that you had an easier schedule, all right? And that with that easier schedule, it can help you. Now, I used to be very, very critical of people playing easier games in the beginning of the season. I've changed my thought about that, and here's the reason why. If those whining babies in the NFL who will act like turds, they will sit out because they're not making an extra couple $1 million a year and they're already making 20 per year. If they get an exhibition, and these college boys who's getting here, and some of them's just getting here like in August and stuff, they have to learn the plays, they have to keep up with their studies, and then they have to go out and play football and stay in shape and all that stuff. I'm not against a couple of easy games at the beginning. Fortunately for y'all, you've got some more manageable games. Starting off with Wyoming. You're at Wyoming. Let me tell you this, I don't think they're just going to lay down and die, but I think that a game like that and a team like that, Kelly Bryant will, listen to me, he will take advantage of their lack of athleticism. Because even though the ACC is not just this amazing, amazing conference with tons of great teams everywhere, it still had more talent than Wyoming, okay? It had more talent than Wyoming. And a lot of the talent that you're going to see in the SEC until you get to the upper echelon, okay? So that will be a game. Don't be surprised if Kelly Bryant comes out maybe a little rusty at first, but then he starts running the ball more. He gets more comfortable. He starts throwing the ball some, opens up for Roundtree. That's where Kelly, as a quarterback, will thrive. Once again, he's an incredible athlete. You could put him at wide receiver if you had somebody to get the ball. Incredible. He could do it. I believe you win that game. Next game you play back at home. You're going to play West Virginia. West Virginia is not the West Virginia that we've been dealing with for the past few years. Greer's gone. That youngin that Southern Cal tried to offer a scholarship to him, Seals, when he was in the first grade to come play quarterback for them, he's gone. Jennings is gone. A lot of people forget about Jennings. They're gone. Their head coach actually took, in some people's eyes, a demotion. He left West Virginia and went to Houston? That's where he went. No reason to go down there if he has some family he really loves. Or he knew they were going to fire him this season. One of those. But when you see West Virginia, you see that they're going to be this, that, and the other. No, they're not. I believe you win this game. I believe they're going to fight you much more difficult than Wyoming. I believe you come out of this game somehow inking out a win. Once again, Kelly Bryant's going to be big here. Next game, Southeast Missouri. Didn't even know that existed. You beat them. Week after that, you play a team I hate with all my being. If I had to choose between them or the Prince of Darkness and his minions, I have absolutely no clue who I'd pull for. You played South Carolina Gamecocks. It's going to be in Columbus. Last year you lost to them. Year before that, you lost to them. And the year before that, you lost to them. It just, South Carolina's had you numbered. I hate to tell you this, that I believe that they're going to play you I believe there's a great chance they beat you. But I know who they have playing for them. And I know that even when they get good talent, something always turns sideways. I know they got a player transferred from our team playing for them. Last year they got a player who transferred from our team to them. He no longer plays football. Now, I'm not knocking him. He was a fine young man. He's very young. I'm not knocking him. If he said, see this family, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, I just don't expect much. Gamecocks knows how to mess up a good thing. I believe you have a fight. I believe you win this game. You come out 4-0. This is not a bad scenario for you, considering that last year 8-5, year before that, you barely over 500, and then before that, you're 4-8. Right? Right. Next week, you play Troy. I believe you win this game. I'm telling you, your schedule's not that hard. It's just heavy at the very end. We'll get to that in just a second. I believe you beat Troy. I don't even know who's coaching them anymore, so definitely you're going to beat them. After that, you play Mississippi. This is going to be your homecoming. Mississippi is... They're just grasping at straws down there. I believe you actually beat them. So up to this point, I have you going 6-0. I have you going 6-0. Look, after that, you play Vanderbilt. I know how hard it is for teams to go undefeated, but I'm telling you, this is not a difficult schedule. It's about to, for y'all, it's about to, but it's one of the more desirable and manageable schedules in the SEC. And one in college football until the end. I believe you play Vanderbilt. I believe they are going to be gunning for you. Derek Mason always fields a team that's fiery. They're doing what they can. You're at Vanderbilt. They're going to push. They're going to run you down to the wire. You beat them. Kelly Bryant will be big in this if he stays healthy. At Kentucky. Kentucky's lost a lot. I believe you lose this game. Too good. Things are going too good for you. Too good. You're going to be in the top 25. You're going to have people talking about you who normally doesn't talk about you. And the only reason they've been talking about you is Kelly Bryant. You're going to hear people chirping, yeah, Clemson has Trevor Lawrence, but we see that Kelly Bryant was just amazing. And he just had the misfortune of being behind Trevor Lawrence. I already said that. The wheels start to come off here. You lose this game. I don't know why. I don't know how. I believe that they're going to be more hungry. I believe they're going to figure out some way to stop what you're doing. Maybe some turnovers. It doesn't make sense. Maybe some sloppiness with the ball. Maybe what I talked about a little earlier, how he's a really good athlete, but he's not really a premier quarterback. That's not a slap at him. I said he's going to make it to the NFL. You tell me my kid's going to make it to the NFL, I'll walk up to you weeping like a baby and hug your neck. You didn't say he's talentless. I just say he's not a quarterback. And for some reason, Kentucky, it's always teams like this, will step up and beat you. Then you take a week off. You're licking your wounds, you're looking back, and you're just giving the talk. So let me say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're 7-1 at this point. So you got Barry Odom looking, going, hey guys, I'll take this. I'll take it. Guys, it's more games than we won 2 years ago. And if we win one more game, we match what we won last year. All right? You're 7-1. Fortunately for you, you have to go to Athens, Georgia. Athens, Georgia has so much going on right now. Expectation is so high for Athens, Georgia. Listen to me, upsets happen. Do you think that late in the season they're going to let you boys sneak by them? This is where they can play a subpar game. And y'all be neck and neck. And then all of a sudden they have to look at each other and go, y'all realize we're all 5- and 4-star players? Y'all realize what's at stake? If we win this, we keep winning, we'll be in the SEC championship for a chance to play at to get into the playoffs, play for a national championship again. Somebody hold my beer, I'm going to go out there and whip their tail. And they'll pull away from you and they'll dominate you at the end. That's just the talent level Georgia's at right now. And they've got a lot of pressure on them to perform. All right? Right. There's one thing about being near the top and on the top. There's a lot of pressure on you. I believe they will beat you. Very next week, you play the Florida Gators. Now listen, if you're a Florida fan, you've watched my other videos, and you get to this point, you know exactly what I'm going to say because I'm kind of like a broken record when it comes to Florida. I don't have a problem with Florida. I'm not sitting here going, Florida sucks, or they're horrible, or they're like they've been during other years. But you're not back. See, I remember Steve Spurrier, Florida. And if that's Steve Spurrier, Florida, y'all's Florida now, and this is no reflection on Dan Mullen. I'm talking about all this mess since Urban Meyer up to this point that's created the shell of history I talk about. You look like the same team playing the same stadium play. You have the same uniform. You have the same fight song and everything. You have the same everybody talking about Tebow and everything. You're not the same team. You're a shell of history. You look the same. You have all that stuff. You're not the same. Might look mighty intimidating. Not the same. But I do believe in Dan Mullen. I do believe that he is going to bust his butt to win this ball game. He's going to have, I believe, lost to Georgia a few weeks, 3 weeks earlier, sometime like that. And he doesn't want to lose again. And I believe you're going to fight as best you possibly can. Once again, I believe the lack of being able to throw the ball downfield will make you one-dimensional. Because if you can't throw the ball, guess what I'm doing if I'm the DC? I am stacking the box. And I'm going to put somebody on Kelly, and I'm going to get them to watch him. Whichever, they're going to spy him the entire time. You lose that game. Very next week, you play Tennessee. Play them back in, there in Columbia, Missouri. Keep wanting to say Columbus. I don't know why. They're going to beat you. They're going to beat you. This will be a big prove-it game for them. This will be a game to where they're looking at somebody who's about their same level in the sense of where they're at in a program, but this is only Pruitt's second year. At this point, they've lost some games that they're not happy about. They do have a very tough schedule, and they're looking, circling that game, going, if we can stay healthy, we have to win. Listen, we have to win the games we can win. We're not going to, if you're Tennessee, you're not sitting there going, in your head, if you're drunk, you might say it, or smoke some meth or something, or hoof some paint out of a sock. May say you're going to beat Alabama. You're dreaming. The truth, and you're high. But the truth is, listen to me, the truth is You have games like Missouri and South Carolina and Kentucky. You have those games circled. And they're going to beat you. Finish the very last game of your regular season at Arkansas. And I believe you're going to beat them. I just think at this time the only thing that you would have to fear is that you didn't get like pissed that you were like 7-1. What did I have you? 7-0 at one time. And out of the last 4 ball games, you've lost 3 of them. When you take in consideration where you've been and where you're trying to go, that's one thing. If this was a season for Georgia, people would be getting fired and they'd be thinking about burning down the stadium. But you're trying to go somewhere. And I believe it can be done. I believe very well you could get out of the season only losing 4 ball games. The toss-up game that I'll have for you, that I'll give you, a couple of toss-up games. Kentucky, you could definitely pull that one off. Tennessee, you could definitely pull that off. Watch the game earlier that you could lose. And I'm about to close down here. If you stuck with me, thank you. Hit subscribe. The games are going to have, much as it makes me want to vomit, you will have to watch South Carolina because one week Bentley will come out and throw like he's in the NFL, and the very, very next week, he'll throw straight to you. I don't know if that's bad routes because he doesn't have great receivers or whatever it is. That's all I'm going to say. All I'm going to say. South Carolina, you got to watch him. Definitely watch. As I said, you could definitely beat Kentucky. Maybe Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt ran Notre Dame to the wire last year. You just don't know. But I have you losing to Kentucky, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. That's 4 teams in a row. I have you going 1, 2. I believe that's 8-4. Right off the top of my head. If it ain't, it ain't. Go 8-4. Much improved compared to what you have been in the past couple of years. Hey, listen to me. You go in there and you beat Kentucky and you beat Tennessee, you're staring at a 10-win season. I just far from see you beating Georgia or Florida. And as I've said earlier, I could see you very well dropping to maybe even South Carolina and Vanderbilt. Could happen. Could happen. All right. Well, hey, stuck with me. I know it's a long video, but it's a preview. We got to talk. Hit subscribe button, turn on notifications. Hey, remember, I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing out. Lord knows I'll keep showing. Hold on. I messed up my own tagline. Get my priorities straight. Got them. Hey, listen. You keep showing up. Lord knows I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.